Arrival of the spaceships. Prologue. The silent threat. It was an ordinary day in Europe. People went about their daily routines, unaware that their world was about to change forever. As the sun rose over the continents, massive spaceships appeared in space and began to hover over the largest cities in Europe. Chapter 1. The first sign. Over Berlin, Paris, London, and Rome hovered the colossal spaceships. Their metallic surfaces glinted in the sunlight, casting eerie shadows on the streets. People looked up, smartphones in hand, capturing the impossible on video. In Berlin, crowds gathered in front of the Brandenburg Gate, usually a tourist hotspot, now serving as a gathering point for frightened citizens. In Paris, the square in front of the Eiffel Tower overflowed, while Trafalgar Square in London was packed, and Piazza Navona in Rome became a hub of activity. Chapter 2. Government reactions. European leaders convened an emergency summit in Brussels. Chancellors, prime ministers, and presidents fervently discussed what steps to take next. Should they attempt communication or take defensive measures? NATO commanders were on standby, but no one knew how to combat something they did not understand. Dr. Elena Fischer, a leading astrophysicist, was appointed as an advisor to the summit. She explained to the politicians that the technology of the spaceships was far more advanced than anything humanity had ever developed. We must be cautious, she warned. A misstep could have catastrophic consequences. Chapter 3. Panic and calm. While some people panicked, looted, and barricaded themselves, others remained calm and sought solace in community and faith. Churches and mosques filled up, and interfaith vigils took place. Social media buzzed with conspiracy theories and messages of hope alike. Scientists and experts were consulted around the clock, but no one had a definitive answer. In Madrid, a group of scientists, artists, and philosophers gathered to discuss the significance of the aliens' arrival. Perhaps they are here to teach us how to live better with one another, said a famous writer. Or maybe to warn us of a danger we have yet to recognize, added a biologist. Chapter 4. The first contacts. One of the spaceships opened up and sent a signal received by all devices. A soothing yet artificial voice spoke in all European languages. We come in peace. We seek exchange and knowledge. A delegation of scientists, diplomats, and military personnel was chosen to make first contact. In a neutral location, Switzerland, a smaller craft landed, bringing the first aliens, who were surprisingly humanoid. Their skin was a shimmering bluish color, and their eyes glowed a deep green. Chapter 5. The delegation consisted of Europe's leading figures. Dr. Elena Fischer, the astrophysicist, was present, along with French diplomat Jean-Luc Moreau and British linguist Dr. Emily Clark. They were accompanied by a contingent of NATO soldiers to ensure security. We need to proceed with caution, said Moreau as they approached the spaceship. Any of our actions could have far-reaching consequences. Chapter 6. The first conversations. The initial conversations took place in a large, round room inside the spaceship. The walls were smooth and appeared to be made of a material that humans could not identify. The aliens introduced themselves as the Arcanian and explained that they were seeking allies in the galaxy. Our homeworld was destroyed by an unknown threat, said their leader Zoran. We seek refuge and are willing to share our knowledge and technology. Chapter 7. Cooperation and distrust. The first meetings went smoothly, but distrust remained. While some countries were ready to share technologies and knowledge, others hesitated. Protests against collaborating with the aliens increased, but equally many people demonstrated in favor of peace and the chance for new knowledge. In Brussels, a new international committee was established to coordinate interactions with the Arcanian. We must ensure that we take advantage of this opportunity for the benefit of all, said the German Chancellor in a speech. But we must also avoid being naive. Chapter 8. Unexpected complications. The presence of the aliens brought unforeseen consequences. Plants began growing faster, weather patterns changed mysteriously, and health effects emerged that scientists faced as new puzzles. Some people developed new abilities that could not be explained. In Italy, Farmers reported crops that were twice as productive as before. In Norway, weather patterns changed, and in Finland, new mineral deposits were suddenly discovered. Scientists worked around the clock to understand these phenomena. Chapter 9. The Dark Side. Not everything was as peaceful as it seemed. A dissident group of aliens, known as the Shadows, had their own plans and began secretly infiltrating Earth. They viewed humanity as weak and ripe for subjugation. Distrust and betrayal crept in, and humanity faced its greatest challenge. The Shadows began to infiltrate key positions in European society. Politicians, scientists, and military personnel were manipulated or replaced. We must stay vigilant, warned Dr. Elena Fisher. There are forces that do not want us to succeed. Chapter 10. The Resistance. Some humans began to fight back against the Shadows. A secret resistance, composed of humans and peaceful Arcanian, formed and worked underground, gathering information on the Shadows' plans. The resistance was led by a former NATO officer, General Marcus Kane, and Zoran, the leader of the Arcanian. We cannot allow them to take over our world, said General Kane in a secret meeting. We fight for our freedom and our future. Chapter 11. The Revelation. Through the resistance, critical information about the Shadows' plans was revealed. The Shadows intended to take control of Earth and use it as a base for their conquests in the universe. The truth came to light, and humanity faced a choice: resist or succumb. In an emotional televised address, the European Commission revealed the threat. We face an existential challenge, said the Commission President. But we will not stand idly by. We will fight. Chapter 12. The Final Battle. The inevitable conflict erupted. In a dramatic battle in the ruins of Brussels, humans and peaceful Arcanian fought together against the enemy faction. Technology and bravery decided the fate of Earth. The battle raged through the streets and buildings of the city. Human and Arcanian fighters stood side by side. We must stand united, shouted Dr. Elena Fisher as she took refuge in an improvised headquarters. Only together can we defeat them. Chapter 13. Sacrifice and Hope. The fight exacted a heavy toll. Humans and Arcanian alike died, but their courage and determination ultimately led to victory. The Shadows were defeated and driven out of Europe. But the cost was high, and the wounds deep. General Marcus Kane, who was severely wounded in the battle, spoke in a poignant address. We have paid the price of freedom. But we have won because we have stayed united. Chapter 14. A new era. Peace returned, and humanity united with its new allies. The lessons of the past and the hope for a shared future drove people to embark on a new era of progress and understanding. In a solemn ceremony, a new pact was signed between humans and Arcanian. Let us build a better future together, said Zoran. For all peoples and all worlds. Chapter 15. Rebuilding. Europe began the process of rebuilding. New technologies and knowledge shared by the Arcanian helped to reconstruct cities more quickly. Scientists worked to understand and control the new phenomena. New schools and universities were established to pass on the knowledge. We have a unique opportunity, said Dr. Elena Fisher, who now led the new Institute for Interstellar Studies. Let us use it to create a better world. Chapter 16. Friendship and Trust. The relationship between humans and Arcanian deepened. Friendships were forged, and new joint projects were launched. Cultural and knowledge exchange programs flourished, and the first interstellar missions were planned. In a small village in France, humans and Arcanian lived side by side. Children learned the languages and cultures of both peoples. This is the future, said a village resident. A world where we all live together. Chapter 17. New challenges. But even in this new era, challenges remained. Not all humans accepted the Arcanian, and there was still resistance and distrust. A group of radical nationalists formed and tried to sabotage the peaceful coexistence. European governments worked hard to overcome these tensions. We must listen to all voices, said the Chancellor. Only then can we achieve true unity. Chapter 18. A new alliance. Another spaceship landed on Earth, this time from a different galaxy. It brought a message from the Alliance of Free Worlds, inviting Earth to join. We have seen what you have achieved, said the Alliance envoy. You are ready to join the community of galaxies. Chapter 19. Joining the Alliance. The decision to join the Alliance was made in a global referendum. The majority of people voted in favor, and Europe prepared for the new opportunities and challenges this step would bring. In a solemn ceremony in Brussels, Earth was admitted as a member of the Alliance of Free Worlds. This is the beginning of a new era, said the Commission President. We are entering a future we could never have imagined. Chapter 20. Looking forward. The spaceships remained in the sky, a constant reminder of the events and the new alliance. Europe and the world had changed forever. People no longer just looked to the sky but also to each other, ready for the challenges and opportunities ahead. In a small town in Germany, Dr. Elena Fischer sat in her garden and looked up at the stars. It's amazing how far we've come, she said softly. And yet, this is only the beginning. Epilogue. The beginning of a new era. Earth was now part of a larger community, and people prepared to explore the universe. New technologies and knowledge opened unprecedented possibilities, and the hope for a better future drove them forward. The arrival of the shadows had changed the world, but it also showed that humanity, when united, could overcome any challenge.